Everyone, welcome back again this week, and thank you very much for joining me. Please go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can see the button below. Thank you so much for that. So today I want to talk to you about phenomenon a little bit. I'm not sure if I've told everyone this or not, but I have this very long dresser that has many crystals on it, and the crystals move on their own, including a candle that has to move as well. And I'm not talking about a tiny little bit. I'm talking about 3-4 inches. All right? And so somebody told me, hey, take your crystals and put them in the moonlight. I said, okay, why not? Can't hurt. And so I go ahead on a full moon. I went and put all my crystals on my dashboard of my car, inside of my car. And so then I bring them back in the next day, and I'm telling you what, there was even more movement. I'm going to say it might not have been the greatest idea. And so here's what's really cool. You're going to like this. I mean, there's phenomenon going on all the time in my apartment. And so one night before I was actually going to sleep, and I'm laying there just about asleep, and I look up and my fan is moving. And I'm like, what the heck? The fan is moving at slow. It's not just like a little trickle. It's moving in circular. And it's on the lowest speed. And so I'm like, I never leave my fan on before I go to sleep. So I reached over to switch the switch, and it was off. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So I'm laying there in my bed, and I'm like, all right, what am I going to do now? So I get up. I stick my arm up in the fan, and it stops. And I'm like, okay, perfect. So now I'm going to go to sleep. So the next morning, what happens, I decide to turn my fan on and my light, and it's going as fast as it can because that's the way I left it, and the light came on. So I know whatever was happening the night before was definitely phenomenon. And so my daughter and I have this big conversation about, I'm like, I wonder if this happens in other people's homes or in other people's spaces. And we're like, maybe it does. And she's like, Mom, you got to figure you're in a building that was built in not 1894. I think it was 1896. And I'm like, you're right. And she said, and think of all the mediums that have done there before you. And I'm like, you're right. And so, yeah, I haven't had anything major happen as of late. But I'm thinking because I've done this video now, it's probably going to happen. So we'll see. And so I'd sure like to hear about any phenomenon that goes on in your place. I'd like to be proven that this does happen in other places. And maybe it's just my energy. Who knows? And thank you very much for joining me this week, and have a fabulous day.